Hi, it's Hans at ahappierman.com. Today's topic is taking care of yourself is expensive but worth it. I'm going over to see a dental specialist today to have a root canal done on one of my teeth, and of course he told me how much it's going to cost, and it's going to be a lot. I don't really have a choice. I can't just get the tooth pulled because it's the tooth that they just used to bridge another dental problem I had. So I need that tooth in place. And to me, that's worth it. I spent a ton of money on my teeth a few years ago, taking care of some big problems, and very happy to be able to smile and to eat normally and not have a bunch of missing teeth in the wrong place. So yeah, the dental work is expensive. I don't have any dental insurance of any kind. I've never been able to really figure out a good way to take advantage of that because some years, there's so many restrictions, and you should do your own research on how you best can do this. But some years, it's just been a couple $100s for a cleaning. Some years it's thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars for major. And the part of the reason I talk about this is I spent many years as a married man not doing any dental, not going to the dentist ever, right? I had a wife and kids, and they had enormous dental and medical costs, and I really didn't want to spend any money on myself in favor of them. I guess kind of took the idea of women and children first in this area, and I just kind of rolled the dice and hoped I would be fine. And I failed right then. I rolled the dice, didn't go in, and suffered with enormous teeth problems later on. Maybe about 5, even after my divorce. Of course, I was even more dead broke than while I was married, so I had no money of any kind to even think about going to the dentist, so I didn't. But eventually things kind of improved, and things looked up, and I got more stable work that I was thinking I wouldn't get laid off that much. And there was a little bit of a dental plan with an earlier health insurance plan I was with, a little dental help. And I started taking care of my teeth, went to the dentist and did all kinds of stuff, cleanings, gum treatment, fillings, the teeth. There was some teeth that were terrible and needed to be pulled, and I kind of got myself stable with my teeth for a while. But of course, one of the teeth that needed to be pulled was kind of up in the front, and it was hard to smile because of the gap, and it was kind of annoying. And eventually, when I made more money and could get a better dental plan to help me pay for this, basically a 0% dental loan that I could pay off over a number of years with zero interest, was I able to afford and get a whole bunch of dental work done. And I would suggest to you, if you're a younger person, get to the dentist twice a year for a cleaning, and spend 20 minutes in the morning and some minutes in the evening doing a full-blown dental teeth cleaning process for yourself, and try to keep up with those teeth so that when you get up to my age, maybe you won't have quite so many problems that I've had. And we see this with older people too. They have the dentures, their teeth fall out, they get weak, their teeth get very, very stained and weak, and you don't want this. when you get to be an older person, your main thing in life will be trying to eat well, to keep some semblance of health, and to have some amount of entertainment by kind of eating what you want, not just being satisfied with just soft, mushy foods that a lot of old people have to deal with, right? So that's huge, is to do that for yourself, to take care of yourself, because you're worth it, right? You matter. So you would want to be, if you matter, you would be budgeting this money, you would be setting it aside, and you would have to pay for it. And instead of just belly aching about how much it costs, realize that it's a huge component of your life, and that if you have to economize elsewhere rather than on your health. And that includes your teeth. So teeth, that's a big expense. Another expense that I have personally is contact lenses for my eyes, and I go in once a year for an eye exam, and usually my eyes have been the same, so I usually end up I can keep my glasses, and I only wear my glasses in the early mornings and late evenings. I mostly like to wear contact lenses, and the contact lenses, that's another $500 or more a year, and then the exam on top of it. So yeah, that's another thing. For many years, I just got by with no contact lenses. When I was married, I just wore glasses, and then in my married years, in my late 20s, early 30s, and early 40s, I just had glasses, no contacts. So of course I was self-conscious about this, and was an ugly man wearing glasses when I could have had contacts. But of course, with the glasses, you buy them once, and then maybe if you don't break them, they'll last you 10 or 15 years. And that's why I went that route. Again, the wife and the kids had enormous costs associated with their health, and I just couldn't justify spending any money on myself. And I really shouldn't I'm not blaming anybody. I'm just saying that's what I did, and it was foolish on my part. But I'm pointing out that you could take a little different tactic. You could spend less on other things, economize elsewhere, to better take care of your health and your looks, how you feel about yourself. And when you wear glasses, and you don't have the option of wearing contacts, your life is going to suffer. You're not going to want to exercise that much, for one thing, because your glasses are always going to fall off. The normal things in life that are good without glasses, you're going to suffer with because you have glasses. So I would suggest that that's a big component, and that's huge for your looks. You're going to look a lot better without ugly eyeglasses on all the time. Another one is, for me personally, is a chiropractor. I probably talked about that a while back, but I go to the chiropractor once every 3 weeks or so for, I guess you'd call it, tune-up. And in 2017, I had hurt myself, hurt my neck quite a bit, and it was basically exacerbating an old injury in an old car accident, and the chiropractor really helped. And I spent a ton of money back in that year on the chiropractor, because I was going multiple times a week, and eventually I kind of got healed, and now it's just maintenance. But the chiropractor is not free. He's a professional, so he needs money, so that's another expense. So let's say when I was a married man, when I had hurt my back from time to time, I wouldn't go to the chiropractor. I would just suffer, right, and wait for it to feel better again. One time I recall it was so bad I did go to the emergency room and had to deal with all those costs, and of course that was just mostly a heavy-duty pain medication to kind of get you through until you feel better again. But yeah, a chiropractor is a nice thing. Nice chiropractic adjustments are a nice way to make you feel better and be healthier and keep your body in a somewhat functioning position. And I think the reason that people don't like chiropractors is the insurance doesn't like to pick up too much of the chiropractic cost. I guess I'm not exactly sure why. I think they'll pick up some, but they won't pick up the amount necessary. So what's that? That's the three things that I spend a lot of money on. Oh, there's another one. I'm in my 50s, and somewhere in my early 50s, I decided, I did a lot of investigation on testosterone replacement therapy. I couldn't figure out why. I'm so darn tired. I get plenty of sleep, yet I'm so tired I can hardly function, and it turned out I had low testosterone. And what seems to happen as men age is their testosterone falls off, and then it falls off even more if you've got a lot of bad habits, like not sleeping enough, like I did not sleep that much as a married man, and eating the wrong food. I didn't eat much meat as a married man, and not partaking in vigorous exercises. I basically just went to my office job, worked a lot of hours, and then did work around the house. I didn't lift weights or do any other exercise at that time. And there's various other supplements you can experiment with to kind of boost your low testosterone to get you more healthy. But in my case, I thought the way I determined it, I was just too far gone, and I went to a clinic that specializes in testosterone replacement therapy, and they take the blood test and the exam, and then you pay out of pocket for their services, because the insurance companies will not, or if they do, it may be difficult to get them to pay what they should pay. I think they probably have their reasons, but my reasons to do it were I wanted to feel good. I didn't want to continue to be weak, with low energy, and listless. And this problem of low testosterone is even worse if it happens when you're a younger man. If it happens when you're a younger man, oh man, you're probably going to be really depressed. And if you're depressed as a younger man without really a good reason, then you probably have low testosterone. Check it out. I mean, there's probably good reasons for a younger man to be depressed. Yeah, if you're not having sex on a regular basis, you're probably going to be depressed. If you don't have a good job and you're not having enough money to pay your bills, yeah, you're probably going to be depressed. If you got yourself totally out of shape and you're kind of not in the kind of shape you'd like to be for your age, you're going to get depressed. If you're in a job that's just not right for you, there's lots of reasons to be depressed as a younger man. But one of them could be that low testosterone. And again, it's an expense. It's an expensive thing to do. But again, if I'm worth it, then it's an expense I'll take on and economize elsewhere. So those were like 4 big things, right? And those were 4 big things I didn't spend any money on when I was a young man or a married man in my middle ages. But now that I'm in my 50s, it's a huge yearly amount, many thousands of dollars. And yeah, it might, you could say, yeah, what a happier man, why don't you just not spend any of that money, put that money into an investment so that you'll have more money when you get old, or use it to pay down your debts more rapidly. Yes, that is an option. But for me, I've weighed all that out and have decided to just make an investment in my own health and well-being now, and hope it'll all work out. Obviously, I take advantage of whatever 0% low interest credit I can get on these things. I know these things are coming, so I set aside some money. So between setting aside some money and taking low interest or 0 interest credit on it, yeah, I get by and I don't have to pay interest on all this stuff. And then, like I said, some years the dentist isn't as expensive as others, so it kind of evens out over time. But yeah, that's a very, very 4 big expensive things I do to take care of my health. And probably the last category is just what I eat and what kind of supplements. And I like to eat good, right? I like to eat as much red meat as I think I can afford, and maybe a little bit more than I can afford. That seems to make me feel, let's say, the best overall for eating. And there are just a variety of other supplements that you can do your own research on. I like vitamin C, vitamin D, fish oil, creatine, a multivitamin, and then there's I think those are the main ones. There's a variety of other ones I've experimented with over time, but currently magnesium and there's a bunch, collagen, turmeric, that kind of stuff for feeling better. But ginger, those are all interesting. But yeah, like I said, all of those things add up to be expense. And if you go and get the highest quality supplements, it's going to be pretty darn expensive. If you're trying to buy meat, red meat now, you're going to notice it's very, very expensive compared to where it was. Now, maybe the cost is where it should be. I don't know. I'm just saying, compared to what it was a few years ago, it's much, much, much more. So anyway, those are, let's say, the 5 big things that I use to personally take care of my health because I'm worth it. And I would venture to say that you're worth it too, and you should. If you don't spend any money on your health, you should seriously consider changing that around. Seriously consider changing it around. And maybe the 6th thing is a health club membership, so you can go to the gym and get good workouts in. And then you'll probably need some workout gear and some things that go along with going to the gym, but those are normally not as expensive as the first 5. So give that idea some thought. All for now.